Hello everybody, I am Jarrett Ross, the GeneaVlogger, and welcome back to another Professional Genealogist Reacts. On today's video, I will be reacting to How Irish Am I? My Ancestry DNA Results by Talk to Ross. This is a very small channel. Well, I say very small, decently small, 6.4 thousand subscribers, so decently big too, you know, getting there. And I'm assuming that he's Irish because pretty much every Irish YouTuber I've seen, that's part of their title. How Irish am I? It's almost like they're having a contest with each other. Really not familiar with his channel otherwise, but I imagine this will be pretty interesting. I'm guessing it's Ancestry DNA because it says my Ancestry DNA results. Although I know I've seen some YouTubers use titles where it says Ancestry and then they use MyHeritage or 23andMe or something else. Won't really say much else, but before we do jump into the video, please be sure to give this a like. That really does help me out. Also, be sure to subscribe and click that bell for notifications on future videos. But with all of that fun stuff said, let's go ahead and watch the video.
Oh, that's crazy.
He's a ginger beard like me, so I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people think that he's like Scottish too or something like that. For those who haven't seen my own DNA results video or seen any of my videos about my own ancestry, which I have a ton of them, I have a Jewish ancestry, but people all the time think that I'm some sort of Scottish or Irish or British or, you know, because of the ginger beard. So I've never had my beard quite as large as his, but I have had pretty big beards, which I don't know if I'll find I have one photo with my beard at its biggest. I'll see if I can post that here.
Hello everybody, Ross here. So, it's been about 6 weeks from start to finish that I sent away for my Ancestry DNA results.
Okay, so actually
In the
Ancestry.
background, I was adopted at 2 weeks old. I know the bare basics about my biological parents. I've grown up here in Dublin, Ireland, all my life.
I'll have to look at his channel, but I wonder if he's located his biological parents or if he just has what's often called the non-identifying information. For adoptees, they'll receive non-identifying information papers, which are basically, it's like medical history, other stuff about the biological family, but trying not to give too much so that things can still be private. But sometimes they can hide pieces of information that will help solve the puzzle, which if anyone has never heard of Finding Your Roots, which is a great program, the Andy Samberg episode of Finding Your Roots goes into that, where his mom didn't know she was adopted, she didn't know her parents, and they were actually able to figure out who her mother was, first using information from the non-identifying information papers, which actually said that she had like a great aunt who was a famous singer in India and she was Jewish. So it's like, you know, how many of those are around? But you know, you never know what little thing like that, which it's like, you know, how many people would fit that mold. You know, if it's a lot fewer, you might be able to figure it out. So, but DNA is really the big way to go about it. And for Finding Your Roots, that was how they confirmed what they thought it was based on that non-identifying information. And then they were able to figure out Andy Samberg's mother's, both of her parents. So could be possible for him, but I will say if he, you know, if he has a fully Irish background when he does the DNA, Ireland has a lot of crazy history in the past 150 years. That's probably putting it lightly. And because of all the different things that have happened, there are a lot of records that have been destroyed. And a lot of people who do Irish genealogy research basically just run into constant roadblocks. So that could be a big difficulty in just even trying the traditional way of figuring out his family history, assuming that he is fully Irish in his biological family.
And couldn't have asked for a better family. Yeah, so Ancestry DNA was the company that I went with, and the results came in this morning. I no idea. I know that both of my biological parents were born in Ireland.
Okay.
I look kind of stereotypically Irish. Apart from that, I have no clue. If you have any suggestions for what you might think my DNA is made up of, drop it down in the comment section below.
I'll do you one even better. I'll make a video about it.
So, without further ado, let's do this.
All right.
Explore your
Glasses
genealogists. Here we go.
on. You know it's serious.
Click, click, click.
Let me guess. It's like 100% Irish or something.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay.
It's either 100% Irish or he's got a real big mix. Because that's the laugh I see either when they're like, oh my gosh, I'm Irish, or they go, whoa, I didn't realize that was there. All right.
Yeah, kind of expected something like that. Okay, guys, so I am 90% Irish,
All right.
6% Scottish, and 4% Welsh.
This has to be recent. Let's see, May 10th, 2021. So Ancestry came out with a communities feature with the Ancestry DNA, and they did like a whole bunch of updates on it, like a couple of different updates just within the past year or two. And I was going to say this looks like the newer version of it. So that must be it. I didn't realize that they had gotten to the point where they were actually separating out Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. So that's actually pretty interesting. But I wonder, what are the precision and recall numbers on that? But let's see what he's got to say.
So, in other words, I am 100% Celt. 0% English. Only joking, my English friends, of course. Wicklow, Carlow, and Wexford, which is all here in the Leinster province here in Ireland, is where a lot of my DNA comes from apparently. And North Leinster. North Leinster could be, anywhere like from County Louth, Meath. I'm not sure if Dublin is included in that. Oh yes, it can be very much traced to Dublin. As a matter of fact, all of Ireland, Scotland, Wales. It's my entire DNA, according to Ancestry DNA anyway, all comes from that tiny little part of the world. Pretty cool. Just blown away. I'm like extremely Irish. It goes back like all the way. 1775, I had a lot of ancestry on the east coast of the USA. So the 1770s was the decade of when the USA won their independence.
So I'm not sure what he was looking at there for that timeline, because I think that's not showing his ancestors. I think that's showing relatives, that he had a lot of relatives who in the 1770s went to the US. So basically they're looking at his genetic matches, and they're finding a lot of people that their ancestry was in the US. So I don't think it's not necessarily saying his ancestry, it's his genetic matches ancestry.
For the British. So, I've connections in the States going back nearly 250 years. Very interesting is when I go to the year 1850 on my map, I can see paths of people who left Ireland going to Australia. So, yeah, from Fallon times. Not surprised about that. Irish people emigrated in their millions for many, many years, and Australia was always one of the main countries, one of the main destinations to go to. But your DNA is your DNA. You can't change it. You can't be happy or sad about your DNA. You are who you are. But obviously what is important to point out is I hope that my ancestors that made it to the USA and Australia, they went on to lead good long lives. That's really what I hope. And I'm really interested to maybe find out some more about them. And this is the first step in doing that. So, yeah, there you go. 90% Irish, 6% Scottish, 4% Welsh. Thanks for checking in for my video, guys. I'd like to see more Irish people on YouTube try this out. I think we need to build a database of Irish people doing more and more of these tests, and it'd be really cool to see where we all come from. But there you go. Thanks for checking in, guys. 100% Celtically yours, Ross, signing off. Peace.
All right.
Let's go.
That was a pretty good video. Very quick to the point. I mean, not a whole lot to say. The biggest thing I think is, at least in my mind, does he know who his biological parents truly are? Because if he doesn't, that's where the power of this DNA test really will lie, is not just giving a general, oh, well, you're 90% Irish, 6% Welsh, 4% Scottish, or whatever the mixture was. I can't remember exactly. But looking at genetic matches and using those to figure out who your biological parents are. So if I were doing his DNA, being a search angel for him and figuring it out, the thing I would do is I would look at his genetic matches and first figure out, what are the top matches? Does he have matches where it's, the top matches are really far away, where it's, under 100 centimorgans, not very close? Or maybe he has some matches where they're, not just over 100 centimorgans in a match, but they're like, 400 or 800 centimorgans or something like that. And if that's the case, then that's a really close relative, and you've got a much higher likelihood of being able to figure it out. But the big thing in being able to figure it out also requires not only having good matches, but having good matches that have good family trees. So there is a definite possibility to be able to figure it out just through the DNA, or not just through the DNA, but going through the DNA matches and seeing what there is. But even more, maybe there will be a way for him to be able to tie the non-identifying information that he has to the matches to be able to figure things out. So there is a definite possibility to be able to do that if he has not done that yet. I know some adoptees don't really have an interest in it, especially people that have a really close relationship with their adoptive family, and they have this feeling that like it's not like they're like doing the adoptive family a disservice, but it's almost like it could be hurtful, or there's a lot of complicated emotions when it comes to that stuff. So it's very understandable with some people that are like, I don't even want to look. But for many, they want to find out who their parents are. Some want to just know who they are. Others want to be able to meet them and have a possible relationship with them. And then even more, maybe they're, maybe he has half siblings out there, and doing Ancestry is going to be able to help him do that. From here, what I would suggest, if he was super serious about, like, I want to find out who are my biological parents, biggest thing I would suggest, go ahead and upload your Ancestry DNA to the other websites that allow it. That'd be GEDmatch, Family Tree DNA, MyHeritage, and Living DNA would probably actually be a good one for him, because Living DNA, their big thing is, honing in specifically on areas in the United Kingdom, as well as, I want to say Northwestern Europe, but kind of generally Europe. They try to be really specific for that. He would be able to upload to all of those. There's also some other sites, Genie.com, GenieNet, other stuff. But a lot of sites where you can upload for free, you get more matches. So basically, like I said, you're trying to find really good matches. You build their family trees, and then using how all those people are related, you figure out, well, who's the only person that could be related to all of these people in that way. And then that person will be the biological parent. Although sometimes you can only hone it down to a set of siblings, or multiple siblings, because, all those siblings will have the same cousins on all of the sides of their family. Getting out there, getting in those databases, that's going to be the biggest thing. And then analyzing it, finding those best matches, building out their trees, contacting them. And sometimes if you get a close enough match, they might know. You could get a match where, maybe it's 400 centimorgans or something, and you talk to them and they're like, oh, you know what? I had this great aunt who had some kid that they put up for adoption, or there's all sorts of stuff where you just don't know what someone might know. So if he's got really good genetic matches, he might not even need to upload at this point. He might be able to do it all through Ancestry. But uploading would be like one of the best moves to do, to give the best possibility. Well, thank you so much for checking out this video. I do hope that you enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. That really does help me out. You can also click right about here if you'd like to subscribe. It is completely free to do so. And if you'd like to get early access to my content, or even access to exclusive content, be sure to become a patron of mine on Patreon. And not only will you get all of that fun access, but you'll also be helping in supporting my channel. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at GeneaVlogger. I'm the GeneaVlogger. See you in my next video.